Hi there, I'm Construction Gamer and this is another UK mod showcase for Transport Fever 2. This is the big one. This is what I think most people have been waiting for a long time. It's the HSTs, the Class 43 diesel locomotives with the matching Mark III carriages. But before we take a look at that, we are going to take a look at some other vehicles. We're taking a look at this. This is the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway 460, nicknamed the Dreadnought. This is by Steve M4. I think it's just released in the past day or so. These are just a good looking set of early-ish locomotives, so 1908 I think is the date on those. They should start to be released from. So yeah, just taking a while to appreciate those. As always, I am using smoke reduction by a third mod, so it might look different when you actually use it with regards to the steam, and I think it reduces the diesel as well, which is something I'm thinking about actually switching off for the diesels, because you don't get any particles, any diesel smoke at all. But yeah, that's just one of the mods that I'm using for these, just because sometimes the steam does completely cover the locomotives. But yeah, enough of that. Let's take a look at these in a depot, which is somewhere up here. There's a few different variants of these. So you've got the L&Y R460 Dreadnought. So we've got a couple here, 55 miles per hour, 1067 horsepower, and then we've got another variant which is 1520 horsepower, 65 miles per hour top speed. And you just got a couple of, got one without the lettering on the coal trailer, and one with lettering on, and you got that, so they'd be, I guess, freight, and then you got a passenger one, I'm guessing. Again, 65 miles per hour, top speed, 1520 horsepower, which for a 1908 locomotive I don't think is too bad. I think it's pretty powerful. It's a pretty big locomotive for the time. So they are those. We do have lots and lots of different things to look at in this particular episode, but I'm going to keep you waiting just for a little bit longer, because there are other great mods that have been released, not just the HSTs. There is a mega reskin pack for the Class 20. So we've got a Colas one here, I think. Is it? Not sure. Yes, no, Chorus, not Colas. Chorus. So it's Chorus Steel ones there. I think, what have I got there? I think that I've got the, let's pause it because it does say on the side, I've got the London Transport one there. I think that was the special, they did a special train for something which I can't remember, but they did a special livery for that. And we do have, they are the Harry Needles Rail Company there, and some London Transport ones in a kind of bright red. And we do actually have some Mark IIIs. These I will talk a little bit more in detail when we look at the HSTs, but these do come separately, so you can just use them if you want to. I've just put passenger carriages on because otherwise it just complains if I put it on a passenger service that it's not. If I put a freight train on a passenger service, obviously it's going to complain on me, so I just usually call it a stock move. But yeah, we do have a load to look at in here. I'm not sure which ones are which, because there just are so many different liveries. But if you go to diesel, it is the D8000 it comes up to, but it's a Class 20. And yeah, you can just see the list. This bar here is absolutely huge because there are so many. And before I forget, these are by Funklive and CW315. I think the original model is by CW315 with Funklive doing the reskin, but I'm not sure if CW himself has actually had a hand in these. So we've got some Hope ones. I think that would be Hope Cement, possibly. Not sure. But yeah, you've just got hundreds. Well, maybe, I don't know. I don't think hundreds, but there's loads. GB Rail Freight there, DRS, lots and lots and lots of different liveries. Yeah, Harry Needles Railroad Company, or Rail Company, I think it's Railroad Company. Yeah, London Underground, I think that was maybe. Yeah, there's the Transport Museum, and then there's a Transport for London, and then there's London Underground there. Yeah, Transport for London Red. Just, yeah, I think you get the idea that there are lots and lots. He's been really busy reskinning all of these Class 20s. The next one we want to look at is actually another exciting one. I think people have been waiting for these as well. It's the version 2 of the Class 40, the 45 and 46. Where are you? You are there. Again, I've just put some carriages on here, coaches, just so it doesn't complain at me that it's not in a passenger service. So yeah, this is the completely redone version of the 44, and then there is the 45 and 46 to go with them. So this is in like the British Railways green colour, and there's a couple more on the back. If I just go away and then just have a look at that as it goes past. I'm not sure which one is which that I've actually put on there, but it says in the description the actual vehicles themselves are all very similar. Well, I think they're almost identical on the inside, but the actual different classes have different engines within them, so I'm not sure if they do actually have different engine sounds or not, but they sound pretty good anyway. Yeah, you can't really hear much. It's not under a great deal of load, but let's take a look in the depot anyway. So yeah, we've got the 44. I've got another one there, so we've got two different variants of the 44. So they're 75 miles per hour, 2,332 horsepower, and then we've got three variants of the 45s, which yeah do have more power and are quicker. So it's 90 miles per hour top speed, 2,534 horsepower. And then the BR Blue 90, and then again same sort of horsepower. So the 44, 45 and 46 by Plain Simple should be available from 1959. So these are really early diesel locomotives, so it's quite handy to have these, especially as you start to get out of the steam age into the diesel age. These are really good kind of intermediate diesel locomotive, and they're relatively powerful as well. So that comes in handy, and these actually they're pretty quick as well, so if you're running any passenger services on your map, then will come in handy. Now I think it's the main event. It's what you've all been waiting for. If I can find it, it's the HST. I've put two different ones on, so I've got little short formed Great Western Railways HST here, a little 5-car. I guess you'd be like the Castle class that they are running now. Just yeah, very very nice indeed. Look at all that detail down there. So basically the 43s, they come separately, so that I don't think there are any fixed formations. I did have a quick look in all. I think you do have to build them yourselves. So we've got the power cars, and then we do have the actual Mark III trailers. So the power cars, the class 43s are by Kellicans, and then Young Lennon has done a new set of Mark III coaches, which you have to subscribe to in order for them to work. I think there's also a Meshables mod as well, which you'll need, which has something to do with the mesh, obviously, but I don't quite know what. But yeah, it is an important part to have. I don't know if I've got the formation of this right with the buffet car, but there are a set of buffet cars, and then you've got sleepers as well, I think. But yeah, it is fantastic to finally have these on Transport Fever 2. I think people have been waiting for a long time for these to come out now. Just appreciate this one. Actually, if we go to now, I do like that detail. This is the earlier, so this will be the 1975 HST in the original livery, and I'm pretty sure they do sound completely different. This has got the Volante engine, or is it Volanta or Volante? Either one, I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments. But yeah, there's definitely a change in engine note between the two different vehicles. So the earlier ones have these engines, so if I let it pull in and then pull off, you'll be able to hear it a lot more loudly. Come on, turn round. Any minute now. Now, I'm not sure if I've got the volume turned up enough in the recording for you to be able to appreciate that, but they definitely sound different. So the older Volante engines, and then you've got the newer re-engines, the MTU engines in them. I'm not entirely sure, but they definitely sound a lot different, which I just think is a really nice detail to have added to these. Again, I'll be quiet for a minute. I'm not sure if it's going to be loud enough, but just wait for him to build up a bit of speed. Yeah, you can clearly hear there's a difference in the engine notes, so that's just a lovely little detail. So if we go into the vehicle manager, I imagine if you select a Swallow livery or the executive, then they will have the Volante or Volante engines in them as well. The Grand Central ones have got the other engines, the newer re-engined versions, and then the Great Western Railway have the re-engined version as well. So it does have a top speed here listed 148 miles per hour. That is because that is the top speed of the actual Class 43. I'm not sure, it possibly might have set that record with that speed, I can't remember. But yeah, the actual top speed is 148. Power 2,281 horsepower. Remember, you've got two of those, one on the front and one on the back, so these are going to accelerate quite quickly. They're going to be quite expensive to run, but HSTs in Transport Fever have always been relatively expensive to run, but we don't really care too much because it's just nice to have them in here. Now if you go to the actual Mark IIIs, at this, in my list they're at the top. We do have the BR Mark III coaches, which are a completely different separate pack to this as far as I can make out. You do have to subscribe to the one by Young Lennon, but yeah, we do have. So if we just go to the standard coaches for now, we've got the BR Blue, the Intercity Swallow livery, and then the Great Western Railway. We do have the dynamic lines as well, but there's no dynamic lines HST yet. I don't know, I haven't asked if any new liveries are being developed for the HST, because I don't really like to mither the modders too much, but there is a dynamic lines First Great Western livery one, which I particularly like the look of. And then there's Great Western Green then, and you've got the buffet and you've got a sleeper as well to go with that, because you will, if you were doing a Great Western route, you would have potentially a sleeper. They do have a capacity of 22, so it is just for looks, which I think is a good little touch, because you might just want your train to look accurate, but you still want the capacity of, well, the kind of in-game capacity, let's call it, so it matches really, which I just think is a nice little touch, even with the buffet as well. 22 capacity. Actually, quite interestingly, just looking at the top speed, the actual carriages themselves, the coaches are maxed at 125, so you won't have to, if you want to put the HSTs on and you want them to kind of respect the 125 top speed, then you just put the Mark IIIs on, and this will limit the top speed of the entire consist anyway, so you wouldn't have to use any modded tracks to get it to go at 125. So yeah, that's just little interesting detail there. So as always, all of these mods, the 44, the Dreadnought, the Class 20 reskin pack, they're all in my UK Mod Showcase playlist, which is available on Steam. There's just a link to that in the description below, so any mods that I feature in this are listed within that. So there we are. I'll leave you with this HST here. I just love the sound of that particular engine, so I'm going to leave you with that one, and I'm going to say until next time, bye bye.